Hi, everyone. Welcome to Waste 360's Nothing Wasted podcast. On every episode, we invite the most interesting people in waste, recycling, and organics to sit down with us and chat candidly about their thoughts, their work, this unique industry, and so much more. So thanks for listening and enjoy this episode. Hi, everyone. This is Liz Bothwell from Waste 360, and I'm with Mayur Valanju from Kimberly-Clark.
Perfect.
Welcome, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks, Liz. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, we usually set the stage, and I'd love to hear a little bit about your background and how you found your way to Kimberly-Clark.
Yeah. So, again, my name is Mayur Valanju. I'm Vice President of Innovation at Kimberly-Clark Professional. Kimberly-Clark Professional is a business-to-business arm of Kimberly-Clark, and I've been here for about a year. One of the reasons that I came to Kimberly-Clark is that their values are actually very similar to mine. I fundamentally believe that we have to leave the world in great shape for our kids and our kids' kids. And the vision of Kimberly-Clark is to lead the world in essentials for a better life. And we at Kimberly-Clark have really established some aggressive 2030 goals. And that is really to advance the well-being of 1 billion people, reducing our plastic footprint by 50%, reducing our natural forest fiber by 50%, and reducing water footprint in water-stressed areas by 50%. And so as I reflect again on these goals that we have, it really aligns to my personal beliefs and personal value system.
Well, I love that you're doing that, and it does align with your personal beliefs. And with that, I'd love to hear more about the RightCycle program.
Yeah, the RightCycle program is a great program. And what it is a program where we sell PPE, which is personal protective equipment. That's inclusive of protective clothing, nitrile glove, mask, and safety eyewear. And that PPE helps protect employees that are working in manufacturing environments and other environments at their jobs. And one of the things that we thought about, and actually started about 10 years ago as a pilot, is currently, at the time, that equipment was going into landfills, right? So at Kimberly-Clark, we're saying, well, what can we do about that, right? And so we started with the pilot, and what we did is in 2011, we started with 4,000 pounds that we recycled. So we found a partner, we figured out the transportation of how to get it back to a recycling site. And now, over the last 10 years, we've expanded that program across Europe and North America to 800 customers, and we have recycled over 670,000 pounds of PPE in 2020. And additionally, as we've continued to refine the model, what we found is that when we work with our customers, they have to sort it and put it into pallets to send back. But we were able actually to also employ people with disabilities to help further sort, remove zippers and other parts that can't be as easily recycled, and really then provide jobs to people in need there, and then also then take that and then recycle the material with their partners, and then the pellets are then converted into products that are sold in the consumer markets, such as shelving, totes, and garden furniture.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And I love how you all thought about it from start to finish, and even having people help with disabilities. You really thought of it in a circular way. And I can't believe it was 10 years ago. Did it expand due to COVID and our increased use of PPE?
It's expanded over time, I think driven by a couple factors. PPE has, and the need for PPE has expanded tremendously over the last year and a half with COVID. And so, the overall demand for our products has grown, which also then increases the amount that we get to recycle. But it also is being driven by us as well as our customers' goals. So we partner with customers to, let them know about this program, let them know how this helps the environment. And then a lot of our customers we're seeing also have environmental sustainability on their priority list. And so it helps them achieve their goals. So it really is a win-win across the board. It keeps product out of the landfill. We still provide great products that protect employees of our customers, and it helps the customers achieve their environmental goals.
Fantastic. And can you talk a little bit about the process of the program? A lot of our listeners are waste haulers and recyclers and MRF operators, so I'd love to hear from the collection side of things all the way to the pellets and beyond.
Yeah, and at our customer site, the thing that we ask for our customers to do is they have to set up within their in their workflow separate bins that collect just the PPE that we provide them. And so they do that. We have them palletize it, and then they pay for shipping back to our contact point where it's our sorting center that has the people I mentioned about that have disabilities that help actually further sort, remove the zippers, et. And then we have partners, recycling partners that we have set up in North America and in Europe that we work with to provide the sorted PPE, and then they take it and they work it through their processes then to convert it into the plastic pellets that are then sold into the consumer goods market.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. And then with a decade behind this program, what other types of statistics are you tracking? I know you had an impressive pounds of PPE in 2020. Are you following it from sort of a whole historical viewpoint data-wise?
Yeah, and again, I don't have the exact data points, but it's gone from 4,000 in 2011 to 670,000 pounds. We started about just several customers in a pilot. We're now up to 800 customers. And as we look forward in the program, right now we have it in North America and EU, and we're looking at expanding it into potentially other regions, as well as we're continuing to look and add customers within North America and EU. And then we're also evaluating what other products can we look at incorporating into RightCycle. Is there a way that we can look at towels that are being thrown away? Is there a way that we can look at even outside textiles or different things that we could take and keep out of landfill? So it's grown greatly over the last 10 years. I think that hopefully 10 years from now, we're also talking about, the same amount or more growth as we continue to expand into different adjacencies and geographies.
Oh, that would be great. And I'd love to hear you guys that you have textiles on the radar.
Yeah.
That's great, because we see it from the landfill side of things, what an issue that is. So anything we can do to divert that, or even AI to help sort that, would be amazing eventually.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest challenges that you have had at Kimberly-Clark rolling out a program like this?
The biggest challenge is that, it does take change in behavior from a customer perspective, right? They have to go in and change their workflow. They have to, and also, people are used to just throwing stuff into one bin, right? And so you have to train the employees to put stuff in certain, bins so it can be sent back to recycling. And we do notice when we first get product from customers, oftentimes that in our sorting center, we do notice that it has impurities, right? And so we'll work together with the customers in order to make sure that we get it as pure as we can coming back of just the PPE, because this is the way that it gets recycled into the recycling process. It really needs to be a fairly pure work stream, and I think a fairly pure stream of goods. And I think that's probably if we think about circularity in general, I think that the biggest challenge I see across the board is how do you pre-sort as best you can beforehand, and then it's the reverse logistics and setting that up in an economical way.
Sure, that makes sense. I feel like that's always the case to make these succeed, right?
Yeah.
So is this a bigger piece of Kimberly-Clark's larger sustainability goals, and what do those look like?
So the larger sustainability goals, so this is a piece of it, right? So we're looking, we have a variety of goals. One of them is to reduce our plastic footprints by 50%, reduce our natural forest fiber by 50%, and reducing water footprint by 50%. So we have a variety of different initiatives that we're doing to reach the goals. So, for example, for KCP, 100% of our North American grid electricity is offset with wind farms in Oklahoma and Texas. We're looking at recycled fiber content. We already use 67% of our fiber is recycled, and we're continuing to look at other ways to increase that. We have programs and initiatives beyond RightCycle, looking at how do we use more bio-based plastics versus oil-based plastics, right? And so looking at different type of inputs where we can still provide the great products to our end users that allow their lives to be better on a daily basis, but doing it in a way that we continue to have environmental sustainability at the forefront of our thought.
That makes sense. And those are lofty, but sounds like achievable goals.
Yeah. We actually are, the management team next week is getting together for multiple days, right? CEO down, and we were talking about, sustainability and environmental impact, what type of initiatives, what type of resources to get there. Because, the great thing from the leadership of the company, it's not hey, we have to grow our business versus we have to be sustainable. It's an and. It's like we need to grow our business and we have to do it in a very sustainable way that leaves the world in a better place, right? And that is the mentality of the leadership team, which I think is fantastic.
Oh, that is, because it has to come from there, right? In order for it to go down. I think that's fabulous. Now, do you think a program like this one could move to consumer side of things, or is it just more sustainable on the B2B side because it's a captive audience and they'll know how to ship back and all of that? What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's potential to move to the consumer side. I think that it'll take steps, right? And so we're talking with other large retailers that they get returns and of different products. And so if a consumer returns things to a center, is there a way that can be a collection point to then feedback into the reverse logistics, right? I think that the biggest challenge with the consumer side is how do you set up those collection points on the reverse logistics to be efficient and also to have as pure of a stream. So it'll take an amount of change from a consumer perspective. But I look at stuff where I know there's retailers that have that collect batteries or light bulbs, right? So there's reverse logistics are starting to get set up for separate industries, right? So over time, I think this is something that I often talk to the team about circularity, right? And I think it'll be an unlock for circularity over time as these reverse logistics get set up, but it will take time and effort and change the behavior from a consumer perspective.
Definitely, and it's always the case. I know we talk about recycling a lot on this show and in our articles, and it's one of those things without the accountability of the consumer, us, and also not just wanting it, but actually doing it, right? So bringing all the stakeholders together is important. That's awesome. So what's next for Kimberly-Clark around this program and your sustainability goals?
Yeah. So what's next is I think with RightCycle specifically is we are looking, expanding the customer base in North America and in Europe, and we're looking at what other geographies we should be setting this up in. And then secondarily, we're also looking at the products, right? So right now we are set up to do PPE. So in terms of the clothing, nitrile glove masks, and safety eyewear, and we're looking at piloting towels, right? And so how will we set that up? We're looking at that in Europe. We actually have in Latin America, we call the dispenser hospital, where instead we take the dispensers that have come off the wall and we look at how do we refurbish it and get them back in the market versus throwing away and creating a new one, right? So we have a variety of different programs that we have underneath this RightCycle umbrella And I think, again, it'll continue to expand as we continue to do pilots in different product categories. And then I'd say the other big thing that, one other thing that I forgot to mention is we are looking at the textiles. As you said, textiles is a big problem. Textiles going to landfills, and so we've started some work looking at textiles and how we can look at taking that and put that into our products. Right, it is complicated back on the as we talk about the reverse logistics, specifically on sorting out the different types of textiles. Right, there's all the different colors are coming in. Then you have buttons and zippers and a variety of different things. So figuring out those reverse logistics will be key. I think there might be a couple of streams of the textile waste that we could work with sooner, but we're looking at, we're spending a good amount of resources on that, as well as then looking at alternative fibers and how do we think about other fibers that could be put into our products.
Oh, that's exciting. There's a lot on the horizon.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Well, and I love the way that you view things. It sounds like also, personally, right, this is a big passion of yours. What does circularity mean to you, really? What would be sort of an ideal scenario for us to get to, even in an ideal world?
Yeah, no, it's true. So circularity means that we're able to take less out from the earth, right? And more we can use the earth, and then we can replace the stuff that we use, right? And so, if I look at earlier in my career, I've worked on a variety of sustainable initiatives. In college, I was started out, my passion for sustainability was looking at creating a hybrid electric vehicle as part of the Future Car team in Michigan. And then I worked at a company called Tetra Vitae Bioscience, which was about creating a bio-based butanol. And so, it really has been on the forefront of my thinking for most of my career. But, for me, it's, again, how do we take how do we not extract stuff from the ground? How do we take stuff that can be replaced and then make it as circular? So we put it into a product, and then we take that product back, and then we create from that product a different product, right? And how do we have that loop continuing to go on from a closed loop process?
Yeah, that sounds perfect to me. I couldn't have said it any better. So how can listeners get involved with the Recycle Right program or learn more about the process?
Yeah, so to learn more about it, I think that, our website, Kimberly-Clark Professional, if you go to it, you can look at the RightCycle. There's a way to put your name in, and if you're interested actually in signing up from an end customer perspective, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to tell you more about the program, if any detail that you would like. But going on the website and putting the contact information in, and then we'll have you talk to a salesperson and get the process started.
Oh, that's great. And then, are you finding that your program is inspiring others? Do you get calls to share your knowledge about this?
Well, we get so there's a variety of customers, right? And customers will talk to other customers, right? There's and oftentimes word of mouth is great here. We do business with Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, University of Cincinnati, Vail Resorts, Dallas Zoo. So a lot of high profile companies that are using this program, and they're looking at and if they talk to other companies that are in the similar space of how they're meeting their environmental goals, and they'll can talk about the program. That referrals always help.
Oh, that's great. Good. Because again, I can't believe it's been around for 10 years, and I see these box programs. I just love how it's integrated into your business process. I think that's a fabulous way to do it. And then, any advice for folks on the line who want to get started with their own type of program?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, right, if there is, I think what we've learned is it's hard to think through all the stuff you don't know as we go into it. So I think that, whether it's joining RightCycle or if you want to start your own program and something else, it's, how do you pilot it and, just start digging in right away and testing and learning. So pilot it and then continue to refine versus trying to, I feel like sometimes over my career, I've been in times where I overthink the things and try to draw it out fully end to end, where it's almost impossible to do that right away. So I think that test and learn mentality and trying and then taking that learnings and improving it is a great way to go.
Oh, definitely. That's such good advice. And anything else you want to share before I let you go about your busy day?
Oh, no, it's been great talking to you, Liz. Just thank you so much for your time. I love everything that you're doing and everything that you're bringing to light in the marketplace across a variety of industries. I listened to several podcasts this weekend, and I think you're just doing great work that is so impactful. But thanks again for having me. And at Kimberly-Clark, we're really here to make the world a better place. And so excited for the future that we're doing. And we've set up some really big goals, but I have full belief that with the leadership team and the support of our employees, as well as, most importantly, the support of our customers and consumers, we will get there, and we really will leave, what I start out with in my mind, leave the world in great shape for our kids as well as our kids' kids.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. And you're working your way toward that. So thank you for doing that.
All right. Well, have a great day. Thanks.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. It would mean the world if you would take a moment to rate or review this podcast. And if you share it with us on one of our social networks, we are giving out some fun, nothing wasted podcast swag. So just tag us and see what you get. Thanks so much.